Welcome back to Crosstown Stories. I'm Yvette Sanchez of Arizona State's Cronkite School of Journalism here on the campus of USC. The first Trojan we highlight is Sam Lewis, a sophomore on the men's volleyball team who is dealing with a situation that confronts more students than one would imagine. Leah Burnett has more. While those in attendance for the 38th annual Santa Clarita Valley Dodger Day were supporting local nonprofit groups and their local schools, they also didn't know that they were supporting their local hometown resident. Sam certainly stands out on the USC campus, but so does our next subject, water polo goalie Nick Porter, who's 6'6" and made his way all the way from Queensland, Australia. Misha Sotskin has his unique story. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind unicorn horseshoe or a regular one, make sure to come see Wishbone. He guarantees to hammer the luck into any horseshoe and give you a magical experience you'll never forget. Whether it's some lunges on the stairs by the lake or a stroll in the shade, there's always something to do along Tempe Lake. Porter recently led USC to a dramatic victory at the NCAA Championships, the Trojans' 10th title in that sport. On the other side of the break, we catch up with the UCLA tennis player who has a heart of gold. You may think that this is an ordinary baseball, and being beamed by one of these, you could just walk it off, but in fact, it could prove to be more deadly. The women of Troy will head into the spring season with a substantial target on their back, as they are the #1 ranked team in the country after fall play. So that's it for this edition of Crosstown Stories. For Haley Kobrick, I'm Yvette Sanchez of Arizona State's Cronkite School of Journalism. So long.
Don't know that I've ever seen anything like him come through the program or this area. Physically, he's a specimen at 6'3", 245 pounds.
Destroy. That's pretty much it. That's where I go to release my stress and relieve myself of like just anything that's going on, trying to be a killer.
There's no doubt that Westlake senior DeGabriel Floyd's intimidating, colossal stature is aggressive on the football field, and to those who don't know, the outside linebacker. But get to know the humble beast, and you'll be entertained.
He's just one of those guys that, big guy walking around school, but on the inside he's like a teddy bear. Nice guy, loves to joke around.
Pretty goofy, like at practice, quiet, but like once I got comfortable here, it was like, oh yeah, I'm just be Gabe. Just a cool guy to be around, real comfortable with everybody. Like that's just me.
He might be a self-proclaimed goofball, but the two things DeGabriel takes serious and never for granted are his scholastics and football. It was Coach Kirksey's encouragement and DeGabriel's sharp focus on his studies that landed him his desired score on his SAT and his dream school. Despite 28 offers, there was only one that really mattered.
And I was studying real hard leading up to that test, and I was just really excited to see the score because I needed I want to say a 1020 to get into the University of Texas. Got a 1050, so I mean, pretty excited.
When he called me immediately, it almost sounded like he was getting emotional talking to me about what that meant to him, and I think that he achieved something he didn't know that he could achieve, and I think that it made him drive for even more in the classroom.
Texas is getting a 6'3", 240-pound four-star player who is ranked 6th in the country at his position, according to ESPN. The decision was easy for the high school senior because of his immediate connection with Texas defensive coordinator Todd Orlando, and he has family in the area.
Like Texas was a great situation for me football-wise. I have a great coach, and he's my position coach as well as the defensive coordinator, and he came long ways just to recruit me and be comfortable with me. Goes out his way to call my family, talk to them, and see how they're doing. So, I mean, just that aspect of it played a huge role.
DeGabriel is heading to Austin in January. His stay at Westlake was for only one football season, but in that time, he made his presence felt.
He's become a great teammate here, and he's one of those guys that's a character by the core. He's a family guy, and that bleeds into everything that he does. He's a great talent on the field, no doubt, but who he's become as a teammate is really, really what's special.
That's my brother. I ride or die for him.
For Fox Sports West, this is Yvette Sanchez of the Cronkite Sports Bureau.
Fierce and like a fashion freak. She's always doing something that involves clothes. I think that's like really her passion.
I love like designing dresses and creating things.
Lajanae Drummer is a redshirt senior power forward from Inglewood, California, an integral part of the Bruins team who started 34 of 35 games for a team that made it all the way to the Elite Eight before bowing to Mississippi State. She brings her best in her biggest of games.
Just the way she pursues rebounds and in the biggest games over her career, the ones with the most pressure are usually the ones that she shows up the biggest.
She's strong. I mean, sometimes when I have to guard her, I'm just like, dang, I got to guard Laj because she's just so aggressive, but I love that about her.
Lajanae's take no prisoners attitude made her a highly desirable talent coming out of high school. She was one of the Bruins recruiting haul known as the Fab Five. 3 of them were McDonald's All-Americans. Hopes were sky high for that 2014-2015 UCLA team. Despite some struggles, the season finished on a high note with an NIT title.
We know we didn't do well as far as season. I mean, freshmen coming in, we didn't live up to those expectations, but in the end, we all fought and won a championship in the NIT, and I think that's like, we learned from it, and it was a great learning experience.
Now, after a couple of solid runs in the NCAA tournament, Lajanae is settling into her senior year where her role will change.
We're all stepping into new roles this year. I mean, I'm having to step into new roles. Everybody's having to step into new roles. So it's just like being able to just believe we belong here.
Laj has got to do it. Laj has got to be a consistent, dependable go-to player for us. And that's not just scoring points. I'm not really talking about that. In fact, even more so, I really need to be at an elite level every single day.
While Lajanae can be an intimidating force on the court, off of it, she has a sensitive side.
She's empathetic for like others, like she cares for others, but like there's sometimes where she doesn't want to show it, but you could catch it sometimes.
She's just a wonderful human being with a balance of sensitivity, determination, drive, and caring spirit. You know, it's this dynamic that is so intense both directions, but I sort of think that's her magical formula.